On this episode of Out of the Box Gaming, we compare digital and physical board games. Are there times when one is better than the other? Power up your favorite console, press play, and enjoy gaming with us. What's up, gamers? Welcome to Out of the Box Gaming. I am your host, Nick Picard, and I am joined by a living meeple himself, Will Kinsey.
Hey, meeples are cute though.
Yeah.
They are.
Sorry, there's a cat down here that, just came up and I was petting her. Alright, if you are joining us for the first time or for the 41st time, we would like to welcome you. Yay.
Welcome.
We are a gaming podcast where we talk about all types of games like video games, board games, card games, etc. We also have special guests on here from time to time where we learn about them, their journey into gaming, and all that. And you may ask, why are you going to talk about gaming? Well, it's because we want to, and we think we have something to say that you may want to hear.
That's right, everyone. We want to share our love of games with you and, possibly introduce you to something new.
Yeah. If you want to catch us live, you can do that by going over to twitch.tv/AceKingKing on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And we also are joined this morning by our wonderful producer, Lindsay.
Hi.
Yay! Also, be sure to check out our Discord because, we want to hear from you guys. So feel free to drop any topic ideas or discussion questions that you have for us to talk about. This can be done by joining our Discord, obviously, and going on over to that topic ideas or discussion questions text channel and typing away over there.
And I believe Lindsay is ready with the trivia question for the episode. Lindsay, what do you have?
I am ready. Okay. Y'all aren't gonna get this.
I mean,
Oh,
with
spicy.
my track record.
I mean, no, it's you're not gonna get it. Okay. How many ways are there to fill a Connect 4 board? A little game Connect 4.
What do you mean fill it?
Like
the whole thing is filled up with the checker?
How many different ways can you put the red and the black pieces in there and fill the board?
Like pattern throughout the entire board.
Yeah, I mean, we could get more specific.
Yeah,
do you want to just say how many ways are there to win the game?
That's what I was trying to figure out, if it was to win or to just fill the entire thing.
Let's just say win, okay? Which is not as many as the other. But how many ways are there to win the game by getting 4 in a row?
Okay.
So that's just the lines?
Yeah, like to get if you're black, how many different black or like how many ways are there that you can win overall?
Got you.
Get 4 in a row.
Okay. I think that's just math at that point. That is a phenomenal question you have for us today, Lindsay. First one was very scary. Thank you. If you guys at home want to think about that question, we'll come back to it at the end of the episode and we'll give our answers and then we'll hear the correct answer.
Yes. As I'm over here just trying to think of the first way, the one that was scary.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. So today, not gonna lie, we didn't come up with this topic until.
Hey, no one has to know.
Till later.
But
we've been sitting on this topic.
Yeah.
No one has to know me.
They're gonna know.
How are they gonna know?
They're gonna know. So our topic today is basically we're discussing whether or not digital board games are worth it compared to the physical board games.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't really talked much about board games lately.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I know at least Lindsay and I have played a few board games digitally, and I was like, you know what? I know with everything, and I know we've talked about this before about like in person versus like online playing and stuff.
Hmm.
But especially with COVID or whatever, it's kind of hard to get together to play board games together. So I figured, we would just kind of see how the digital version of those board games can match up to physical version. Which I want to try to stay away from bringing in topics that we had from that one episode. Like where you don't get that human interaction is really good with that. I want to try to stay away from that and just try to stick with like different points that I have.
Stick more on the actual game itself
Yeah.
rather than the social aspect.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Roger.
Okay, because I mean, I was just gonna say like, I wouldn't get rid of either. Like, there's a time and a place for both. I think.
Yeah.
So.
Hmm.
And I think from some of the things I've looked up, one of the big things where I think now this I guess could bring maybe a little social in there. Where I would much prefer the digital over the physical is depending on the number of players. And whenever I say number of players, I'm just mostly saying if I'm playing by myself. Because if I'm playing by myself, then just give me the digital because then I'll be playing against AI.
Yeah.
And then if I played by myself physically, then that would be like me playing against me, and then I would know everything that I would want to do. So, which I know my dad, he does that. Like he'll play Monopoly Deal, which is a Monopoly card game. I've seen him play that by himself, where he's just playing against himself. So
Interesting.
which I don't know why you would do that. So yeah, one of the biggest things, number of players. If you're by yourself, just get the digital. Which I mean, that could just depend on the game.
It's a one-player
Unless it's
game.
a one-player game, board game, then
Which those do.
Yeah.
Those
I'm
float
saying
around.
like with Ticket to Ride. That's one of the games that I
Mhm.
own physically, and I've played on my old iPod Touch or something or iPad. I don't even think I have the game anymore. But that was something that I would play just by myself on there instead of having to pull out Ticket to Ride and just playing against myself. I would just play against the AI, and then sometimes I remember when Lindsay would be around, we would play against each other against like other AIs. So
And I think I mentioned this in an earlier episode. With that game specifically,
Mhm.
I had mentioned a couple that I'm friends with on Facebook who have young children. They play Ticket to Ride against each other on their phones because it's just easier than having a board with pieces spread out and children running around and animals, and they can stop it and pick it up at any point
Mhm.
because it's it's digitally. And so I mean that works for them over having the game set up.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, God, man, we can go so many different ways. Like it could just things could just depend on what games you are looking at to play that you have physically and then versus digitally, because I don't think all the board games are actually there's a digital version. Unless you want to count Tabletop Simulator, then literally about any board game is on there.
Yeah, I
Um,
was going to bring up Tabletop Simulator
okay.
for certain things. But yeah, I mean, I think we can count Tabletop Simulator in that.
So one of the things I'll say with tabletop, from my experience, I love tabletop. Now that I actually know how to use it and I've actually played it or whatever, I love tabletop, and in some things it will simplify things, but in others, like I know last night, we played with a couple friends, and we were finishing our game of Sheriff of Nottingham. I feel like in person, after the game is set up, it will go a little bit quicker just in person with the physical thing, because sometimes it takes a while for, like, at least for me, because I'm still kind of figuring out of like these are the cards that I want. Okay, let's go in there. Okay, I have to flip them first before I can put it in the bag. Like, I feel like I'm just slower with, being on the computer than if I had the cards in my face. I'm like, oh, these, put them in my bag and like all that. I mean, it's
Right.
probably
Yeah.
not like a big time difference. It's just that little bit where I'm like, I'm a little slower on here than I would be in person.
Yeah. But there's just so many different factors
Mhm.
because we were playing with friends that we can't physically play together with.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was one of the things I was trying to stay away from because
I don't know how you stay away from it completely.
we're just talking about the game itself.
Well, yeah. But so are you like saying, I don't know. I don't know how you stay away from it though. Cuz
I mean,
is
we've
it
already
like
we've already talked about that in a previous episode. So I mean, I know those points are there,
okay.
but we don't need to address them since we've basically addressed them on a previous episode.
So we're just forgetting that whole okay, carry
We'll
on.
just go ahead and make a disclaimer. Digital board games is you can easily play with friends that you can't meet up physically to play the game. So there's a very plus side with that. We have already talked about this in a previous episode. You good now?
And I'll be good if you can name the number of episode that we talked about it
The
in.
number? No, I can't.
27.
I don't think it's 27.
I think he's making things up. I'll figure it out.
I have no
You
idea.
carry on.
If it's 27, I'll be surprised. But yeah, where was I going at? Okay,
Sorry.
what tabletop? Yeah, so I want to try to not talk about tabletop right now because it's an amazing thing right now.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to try to think about the other games that are not the ones that are on tabletop, ones that actually have a digital version of the game. Because there's like Uno. I think it's Ubisoft that makes it or whatever. Um, I mean, games like that, it being a digital version, there's already some things that it does for you. So it simplifies things that you don't have to do like in person. So I know in that one, like I don't know all the rules for Uno, but I know if you get a 0 or a 7 is played, something happens with cards. Like you have to switch hands with someone or the hands like rotate or something around. And I think if that certain card is played, it automatically does it. So you don't have to.
Oh, you can't edit the rules?
You probably can. I'm just saying, like, those are rules that I've never played with, that if you had them in there, that it would automatically do it, so then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Gotcha.
And then the same thing will go with, like, and I know, Will, I brought up, like, do we want to talk about card games?
Mhm.
And then I'm specifically thinking of Magic the Gathering.
Right.
Yeah. With Arena. Now, there's a lot of pro and cons with Arena, but one of the biggest pros for me is it calculates everything for me.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, if you're playing some really finicky, janky stuff that does a lot of like math,
counters, life gain.
it does all the math
Oh,
for you,
yeah.
which is wonderful.
Yes, absolutely wonderful. Because, like, in person, I think there's been times, I know there's a deck that I made for Lindsay, it was like some kind of spirit deck, where she gets a lot of life gain, and her creature will get that many +1/+1 counters on it, like with life or so. I can't remember. That if that was like on Arena, they calculate all that for you, like how many different counters it has on it, how much life you're gaining. But in person, we have to pull out all this dice. I mean, we don't technically have to do dice. We could do a calculator, but we'll set it up, and after a while, like time wise, it'll take a while to get through like a game of Magic if you have decks like that. Opposed to
Yeah.
on if this was like implemented on Arena like that deck or just, any decks like that. Like I have a deck on Arena from like over a year ago that was in standard. And there was a lot going on, a lot of counters, a lot of things activated, and I didn't have to worry so much. Like I got spoiled from playing Arena that whenever I played like in person, I'm like, oh man, I have to do all this myself. So, but
The bad thing about Arena is you can only play 2 people.
yeah, unless they've changed things. I haven't been
I
on
haven't
an
played
Arena
in
in
a
a
while.
while. I mean, like it sucks because it's mostly only standard, but they do have what like historic on there, and it doesn't have every card in the game on there. And it doesn't have EDH unless they've changed that. I know they have something else that is like EDH, but it's not on there. I mean, so there's like some
Brawl, I think.
Brawl, I think. Yeah, so there's some pros and cons to it. Um, I mean, which could bring up the point of like the digital version may not have everything that the physical version has. At least for now.
I mean, that's a butt ton of cards.
That is a lot of cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say it was episode 30.
30.
So you were close, Will.
I feel like it was. I feel like it was in the 30s when he said 27. I'm like, no. I feel
27 was our holiday gift guide.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which is not too late to go back and watch if you still have birthdays coming up.
Yeah, that's true.
You were close though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, some digital versions of games may not have everything that the physical would have. Like it may just not be ready yet. Like they may be working on it and then they'll get it out later. Because I know one game that I was talking about with Will when I was watching a video this morning is Gloomhaven. It's one of the more popular games right there, like as a board game. And there's a digital version of it on Steam, which we'll get it eventually, but it doesn't have the main campaign of it. Which I feel like that could fall short for physical version of games is whenever it comes to the campaign version of games. So I know there's Gloomhaven. There's a Star Wars game that I know is like campaign. Yeah, it can actually do campaign things with Star Wars X-Wing, the miniature game. And I think there's some other ones that are campaign like. I can't remember if it's Armada or there's another Star Wars game that was more recent, but I can't remember. There's also that new or it's not really new, the Pandemic one that is a campaign based one. Physically, like those will be, very much enjoyable, but at the same time, it could be, a little difficult of when it goes to setup. Because if you're doing the campaign of it, like you have to remember where everything was, and if you're putting everything back in the box, you may have to put it back in a way where you try to remember everything.
Right. Yeah.
And if it was just the digital version, then you can, just click save and it remembers it all. And I know with that video that I watched with the whole Gloomhaven, the guy talked about it where, and he even timed himself. It took him 20 minutes just to set up the game of just doing a basic, like a basic scenario, with like the map or whatever. And he can't even complete everything on the map. Like he can't set everything up because there will be times where you would open a door, and whenever you open the door, that's when you see other things, and then he has to stop the game and put those other things on the map. But digital version, it's all there. All the setup is already done, and you're just playing, and then you don't have to do like any setup. So there's a lot less time involved with digital than it is with physical, especially like on setup and stuff.
Right.
So, and then like I was saying with the whole campaign thing, whenever you're done, you just save it, and then you're done on digital. But with the physical version, you have to remember everything, try to put things back in the box of how you remember whenever you set it up again. You would put it all the way back to how it was. Which I don't know, all those games, if there's just a point where you complete this mission, you don't have a setup, and you can set up the next map, the next time you return. That's probably something I would do. And not like save it in the middle of the match. Digital, I could do that, but physical, no, I don't want to do that. Because then there'll probably be like a lot of pictures taken to make sure everything's correct.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, if you're playing something like Gloomhaven physically, like you've got to have a time commitment
Oh yeah, yeah,
to set it up, to work through whatever mission campaign, I don't know everything about that game until you get to like a point where you can stop.
yeah.
Because I will say it was nice when we finished that Sheriff of Nottingham game, like our friend just saved it
Yeah,
when we had to stop, and we were able to he loaded it back up and
continue
we
where
were
we
able
were,
to
and
just
that was
continue it,
on tabletop,
which
so
was nice.
yeah, very nice. Um, yeah. I mean, is there anything you want to talk about? Well, I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I've just been enjoying, man. No, I similarly to I mean what you guys have been saying about uh Gloomhaven with a lot of the longer board games, especially the campaign based one, but with a lot of the longer board games, um you quite often get the opportunity to save your progress
Mm-hmm.
with the digital version a whole lot more simpler than with a physical version, and I do like that. That's and that goes along with like the setup and everything as well. Like you don't have to reset up the board game like you would have to for the physical, like you said, with taking the pictures and making sure everything gets set back up. You just
Mm-hmm.
click resume and then you're back in it.
Yeah.
Um so I mean that in and of itself would lend, in my opinion, um heavily to making digital versions of board games worth the price, even
Mm-hmm.
if you already have a physical version.
Yeah.
Um, but we've got a whole lot more points to hit
Yeah.
on. Like,
But
I
I
mean,
will say with the of how complex Gloomhaven is, like of all the different pieces that you would have, setting that up could get annoying.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, digital all the way. And then I know you mentioned price, and that was another point that we were going to make. Typically, board games like those, really good tabletop games, they're pretty pricey. They're rather
Mhm.
pricey. I think Gloomhaven. Actually, let me look it up right now. Um,
And you want to get all the expansions.
yeah, the expansions too. Yeah. So Gloomhaven right now on like Amazon is $100. So, if that's just like too much for you, if you don't want to have that thing, lug that around and stuff like that, I mean, I can
Now,
understand.
I will say, with board games, only one person has to own the game.
Yep.
That is true.
But with the digitals, I assume anybody
Each.
who wants to play has to buy it.
Yeah. Unless there's some weird game where it's like only this person needs to have it and you can invite other people, but I don't think there's really many of those.
No.
Um but yeah, with Gloomhaven $100. If you go on Steam, it's typically 25. Currently for us it's on sale for $20.
How many, like, what's how many people can play Gloomhaven?
Um I don't know. Okay, let's see. 1 to 4 players.
So if you've got four people that bought the copy, the digital copy for $25 each, that's the same price as one board, the physical game. So I mean, this
Yeah.
is where I think that topic that you didn't want to talk about comes into play, because if you're going to play with people who you can physically play with,
Mhm.
get the physical copy, play together, have fun in person. But if you're going to play with people that you can't physically play with,
I still feel like
then digital.
with the with this game with Gloomhaven of how complex it gets. I feel like I would want the digital. Though right now I know I talked about with Will before we started this. I would still wait on getting Gloomhaven if you wanted, because they don't have the campaign on the thing yet. It's still in early access. So
Mhm.
you probably would want to wait until the game is fully released. Not sure when that's going to be.
So, are you saying that if you are going to play with people you can physically play with, instead you're just going to each sit at your own homes on your computer and play it
I think
instead
it
of
would depend on the game. And I think
I
with
think it depends
this,
on the friend group.
yeah, friend group and game, and I feel like with this game in particular, of how complex it would get, I wouldn't want to be the one setting it up.
I mean, okay. I mean, you've still got to set it up on there.
No, it does it for you.
Oh, okay. So it's a little bit better.
Like it sets everything up. Like you go to this place and it'll have like the map for you, all the enemies, set up, all the items in the area, opposed to the physical version where you as a player have to set up, and then you're also trying not to want to know what is happening in there. Like the person setting up, they're going to know things that other people aren't going to know, and that's advantage, disadvantage, however you want to look at it. That type of player, but and also, like I said before, the physical version, like say there's 3 rooms, you're in this one room, you kick down the door to go to the next room, you have to stop your gameplay to set up that room that you just entered with the enemies and stuff, because you can't do that in the physical version.
Is that what you were telling me about this morning?
Yes, I believe so.
I thought you were talking about the digital game.
No.
When you were telling me
No,
about that.
physical.
Okay.
So, yeah, but price. Yeah, just depending on what it is. I know, like, some of the tabletop games, they can be pricey, like I said. I can't even remember how much some of them are. Like Catan, I feel like that can range from like $40 to $50 around here. I know what Red Dragon Inn, we have that one over there. There's different base games, and then they have mini expansions.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Betrayal of House on the Hill, Ticket to Ride, like all those, they can be pricey games. But if you like Ticket to Ride, I can't remember how much it is on like your phone or something. Also, I have Catan on Steam, and that was it's kind of fun. Like I enjoy it because if I'm by myself but I want to play Catan, I can go on there and play it against AI, and there's also like a story kind of thing with it, like a campaign.
That's
So, which I haven't played it in a while, but really, with price, it could just come down to let's just get it on tabletop because tabletop's like how much it was. It's like 20 or something. But I think whenever Lindsay got it, it was on sale for like half off, for like 10. And I know with one of the games I mentioned, the Red Dragon Inn, there's a now okay, I will say with tabletop real quick that they're not like the games in there are not like licensed by the developer themselves. It's people that have like made the games inside of like the workshop for tabletop for other people to use, which a lot of them are really good. And I've seen with the Red Dragon Inn, there's one where it has every base game and expansion with it. And I haven't played it yet on there, but I mean, you would just play it like you would play it, physically, but you just have access to everything.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the quality of those, how well they've been made, because I haven't done a whole lot of exploration on tabletop. I've gone in to specific things when people have been like, "Yeah, let's jump on here and do this." So I haven't explored a whole lot, so I don't know the overall quality of tabletop simulator games.
Yeah.
But the ones I've seen were, pretty dang good. Like a couple of them are a little janky. Like you have to like move everything around and like try to physically grab stuff, and you're like, this would be better if I could use 2 hands. But other than that, I mean, Yeah, I mean, Tabletop Simulator is fantastic, and you can use it for everything from board games to card games to miniature games, which I think you and a couple of our buddies were playing just this last week, maybe
Mm-hmm.
playing some X-Wing on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got a whole lot of potential.
Yeah.
Um, however, if you want to support the companies that make those games, maybe not the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because we here at Out of the Box Gaming are all about supporting your local game store and things of that nature. So, I'm not gonna completely say, yeah, just get Tabletop Simulator and forget physical copies. But it is really good for those things that you may need to jump on it for. Like,
Yeah.
I know a couple of our friends play Warhammer 40K campaign on Tabletop Simulator. Which, yeah, you can also play tabletop RPGs on there. Another really cool thing. So it's definitely got its uses.
Mm-hmm.
And for some things, I really don't see it as any different than using like Roll20, really, like how we use Roll20 for D&D.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that's my little spiel on on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
great, but it's not exactly great.
yeah. I mean, most of the games I think I would play on there are ones I physically own. So I'm still
Yeah,
have supported
exactly.
the
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, there's plenty of board games that I'm looking at over there on the shelf that I haven't played in a while, but I do have. And like, I mean, like Sheriff of Nottingham, I own that. And we just got done playing that. I also have Cards Against Humanity. We've played that on there. Red Dragon Inn, I have that over there. I don't have all the expansions. Um, like what is on tabletop, but so I
There's a
like
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
players.
So I mean I do support, but the gosh, the developers themselves. So I'm good.
I don't think, the more we go into this, I don't think we can actually straight up compare physical versus digital. There's the
I don't think
time,
that's I think we're going for, is the digital version worth it?
oh, yeah. And it depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I will, like, I don't know.
What is it you want to say? I feel like you've been wanting to say something for.
Well, I feel like you're just completely pushing digital,
No,
and there's
I'm
a
just trying
time
to.
for both.
I'm just trying to give benefits for
Okay,
it.
yeah. I mean, I regret buying Tabletop Sim? Absolutely not. I think it's worth it. I think when you're playing those games with people that you can't play with in person, it's worth it. But I wouldn't, on the same hand, totally give up board games.
Oh heck no.
No.
And I mean, I don't know when you were comparing the price either. Like, yeah, we bought Catan, but we played it with so many different people that it was worth the price of buying it. Even though we didn't buy it, you got it as a gift.
Yeah.
Um, my
But
mother got him Caton for Christmas. One
mostly
year.
if I wanted to compare, if I wanted to compare them, I wanted to mostly compare it to the ones
Their
that
digital
are
versions,
their
not
digital
tabletop.
version, not tabletop.
Yeah, that's
Um,
my bad for bringing up tabletop. I just thought it was important to
No, I
mention it.
mean,
so
it's a big part of digital board games. Tabletop is.
so yeah,
Um,
there's Catan that I've played. I mean, it looks good. It plays well. I mean, the only problem is playing against the AI. If you want to do some trading, the AI are stingy sometimes. Um, I mean,
yeah, you can't really finesse AI in those games as much as you
no,
can finesse real people.
but yeah. So like the from what I'm looking at, like I have on Steam with Catan, like it sets it up for you. Like that's something you don't have to worry about. Whatever you roll, if you have your pieces on there, if you never play Catan, like you'll roll dice, you have like settlements on these corners, and if your settlement is touching like on the corner of like that resource that was rolled from that number, then you would get that resource. And here you roll it or whatever, oh, you got that resource, it automatically gives it to you. I know there's times where people may forget, oh wait, I'm part of that. I should be getting, some wheat or some sheep or something like that. So, I mean, I think the actual like digital versions of these games are well worth it. I feel like some
Indeed.
some of them may not be the best like programmed or something. There might be flaws. Normally, you would get that with digital things. But yeah, there's that. I know there's Small World. I haven't played that in a while. I know there's a digital version of that. I don't even know if I have it on Steam or not.
That game was so flipping complicated.
It was. Oh yeah, I do have it. It's just Risk, but fantasy characters.
So complicated.
I think the digital version is good. I mean, it makes it easy. You can get on your phone. There's also Talisman that I have on Steam. I haven't played it yet on Steam. I've only played it once in person. But I talked to our friend Alex, who's been on the show before, last night about it because he has it physical and digital, and he was saying the digital version is good. So I think a lot of these where the companies actually have like the physical game that they put out, and they have like a licensed digital game. Typically, the digital game is good.
Yes. Yes. Personally, I haven't found a digital version or a licensed digital version of a board game, card game, etc. that I was just blatantly disappointed with.
Yeah.
They've usually been really good. Now, I will say
I don't know, those old
the
Magic
AI
ones.
and Monopoly are jerks. And
Yo,
yes, the old licensed Magics. Yeah.
I
But MTG Arena is pretty good.
I do have Monopoly like on Ubisoft because it was on sale, but I haven't played it on there yet.
Yo, man, they are ruthless. Those AI are
Okay.
ruthless.
It can't be much worse than playing with his family. They're pretty ruthless too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI are programmed to never take a deal that's just even equal. It always has to be drastically in their favor. So mean.
Yeah. And then I know on my phone I've played like Phase 10. It's a old classic card game or whatever. I mean, it's simple to play on there. Especially like if you're on the road and you're on your phone or something, not driving, not saying that, like if you're a passenger and you're on your phone, then it's a game that you can easily play because you can't really do that I mean, you could do it in the car, but it'll be kind of annoying or hard to do.
Right.
Yes, we at Out of the Box Gaming do not condone driving and phase 10ing at the same time.
Yeah.
Brett.
Yeah, so which I mean, I guess that would kind of with the whole car thing or whatever, space and portability. Digital is easy to, like if you have it on your phone, like small space and you can easily carry that around. If you had a big box like of a board game, cuz I know I'll bring up Gloomhaven again, that's a huge box. And it's like 17 pounds or something to carry that around. And it takes up a lot of
It's pretty heavy
space.
for a board game.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space whenever you play it. And I know one game that we have physically, the Betrayal of House on the Hill. Lindsay here says it takes up a lot of space.
It
So
does.
It does. Now, I will say, if I had known years ago that you could have been playing X-Wing and what's that other game that you got a bunch of stuff for?
which one? I have Legion, and then I had War Machine / Hordes, but I sold all that.
Yeah. Okay, if I'd known years ago you could have paid $20 to play it online instead of buying all these little miniatures and these big black cases that we still have some of, I would have been like, Nick, buy it digitally.
Well, see, that's difficult because for miniatures, like your goblin brain goes off. You know, that little bit of your brain that goes, "Ooh, that's a tiny little thing that I really like. It's fun." Like
And
that tiny child in your brain that's like, "Yes, I want
if
it."
you want, you can paint them.
Exactly. Like you can make them off color from what they're supposed to be, so that they're yours.
Yeah.
Miniatures are so fun. Like
So I
you
haven't
can't
painted any in a
really
while.
beat physical miniatures unless they give you as many customization options in digital version,
Yeah.
which is impossible. But
I'm just saying.
Man, I haven't painted a miniature in so long. I feel like I did a fantastic job with the ones that I did paint. But they are gone because it was a game that I rarely played.
Just saying. But
Okay. Also, I want to
carry on.
Pull up some of these other points. Okay, yeah. So we've done price, setup, space, portability, number of players. There's also did I mention time? Okay, yeah, time. It can really digital version can be a lot less time than physical, mostly because of the setup and then the tear down. Um, digital with time, like you could probably get through maybe another game or halfway through another game. That would take you with physical to set up and tear down.
yeah, depending on the game, most definitely.
And then scorekeeping. Normally with digital, it does it automatically for you, minus tabletop. Because I know last night when we finished our Sheriff of Nottingham game, we had to figure up the score ourselves. But a lot of those licensed digital games of it, they automatically have the score for you. I remember it did it for Ticket to Ride whenever I played that. So, yeah. So whenever it comes down to is digital worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially
most
in
definitely.
the situation. And like if you're actually coming down to like, okay, I want to get this game. Should I get it digital or should I get it physical? At that point, it comes down to your situation.
Right.
And if you if it's going to be a game where you feel like you're just going to be playing by yourself, then probably digital so you can play against AI. But if it's with other people, then you may want to talk to them and be like, hey, here's this game I want to get. Should we get this as a physical or get it digital?
So it does come down to your situation.
If you're doing either or, yes.
Yeah. But I like both.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it?
No.
You will?
You know, I think I'm good. However, I will say on card games, especially Magic the Gathering, it's extremely satisfying to have an entire table covered in your cards.
Yes.
It doesn't look quite as satisfying in Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I will mention this one time. It was back whenever I first started playing Magic. After Will and Alex taught me, and we were in college, and a bunch of us were playing. On my old phone, I had a picture from where Will literally took like every creature, and I think creature from our friend Joey's graveyard, and had it on his side of the field. And I took a picture, and it was like Will having this massive army of creatures with Joey having, I think, maybe one little creature.
Yeah, I had used Life's Finale where I destroyed all creatures and I got to look through his deck for 3 creatures and put them in the graveyard. And then I brought them all back with Grimoire of the Dead, so that I had an army of the dead to attack Joey with, and he was able to summon one creature on his next turn.
Yeah. It was really funny.
It was great.
All right. But yeah, so like we said, digital, it's worth it.
Definitely worth it.
So we're going to move on to our nostalgia game of the week.
Yay!
This is where I'm not going to show it up on the screen because I don't have that ready. This is, well, I mean, if I did, it would cover you up. So, but we don't want that.
I'm cool with it.
It's a wheel on wheel.
Yeah. This is where we spin a wheel, that gives that has a list of games, which I need to add more games because the wheel is there's fewer and fewer games and I keep forgetting to add more. Which we should probably add some more games to it now that I look at it.
Oh.
But yeah, wheel that has some old games that give us that nostalgia feel. If any of y'all have any suggestions, just please join the Discord, go to the nostalgia game of the week or nostalgia game suggestion. I can't remember what it's called. You should see it in the nostalgia in the podcast section of the Discord, and you can just put your suggestions there. So I want to spin this wheel. Lindsay can verify what it is, and it's Banjo Kazooie. Kazooie.
My goodness.
Will?
Yeah.
I want to make a confession. I've never played this game. I know it's a very
Banjo Kazooie?
No. I know
that's fair.
It's a very popular game from the 64. I've never played it. I never had it for the 64. I didn't hear about it until many years later. I think it was after I graduated college is whenever I heard about the game because people were talking about it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. And I was like, oh, it's a 64 game. So
I'm gonna be real. I only had the really janky Game Boy Advanced version. So yeah, I didn't have the 64 version, which was apparently like the Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those, in my opinion, kind of like the golden age of those cartoonish RPG games where you would run around and do a bunch of random crap, like Spyro, Banjo, Crash Bandicoot even had a couple of those like really explorative ones. I know there's some others that I'm forgetting, but oh yeah, like Ratchet and Clank and those dudes.
Yeah.
They all had those similar types of games. But Banjo Kazooie was just really fun. There's not a whole lot of like really special stuff that I can really like bring up. Like you play as a gorilla with a bird. I forget what kind of bird Kazooie is.
Wait, he's a gorilla?
I think he's a gorilla. Maybe he's not a gorilla.
He doesn't look like a gorilla.
He might not be a gorilla. He might be a bear or something. I'm not gonna lie. I just always assumed he was. Oh yeah, okay. So he is a bear.
Okay, I was about to say he does not look like a gorilla.
He's a bear. I don't know. I always thought he was a gorilla. But yeah, so you basically go up against a witch, and you have to fight all these random little dudes, but it's mostly a puzzler. Like you complete tasks and stuff.
I mean, it kind of seems
just like all those other
Mario 64.
Yeah,
of how it looks. So, and isn't Banjo Kazooie one of the playable characters in Smash now?
Yes. Okay. However, Banjo is useless and Kazooie does all the work.
Oh, okay.
As it should be. Because Kazooie was always the one doing all the cool stuff, and Banjo's just sort of running around, running into stuff, jumping, and Kazooie's throwing eggs and flying and being a baller.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our
good series.
Nostalgia game of the week.
Hey, you want one of the...
I don't know.
Sorry, I was gonna offer up one of my cool board game facts that I talked about, but then my phone wasn't unlocking for me.
Uh-oh.
Rip.
Sad.
How
Big
dare it?
The audacity.
Did you know?
The Muffin Man?
Not do you know. I said, did you know?
Did I know the Muffin Man?
Did you know that Candyland was created for quarantined kids? Back in 1949, it was a school teacher created Candyland to brighten the day of children confined to a San Diego polio ward. Yeah, you're welcome
Cool.
for that
Heck yeah.
knowledge.
Cool.
Carry
All
on.
right. Well, I guess we have time. Yeah, we have time. I know we haven't done this in a while, but we're just gonna go ahead and tell you what we've been playing lately.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
what have you been playing, Nick?
Man, there's many different things I've been playing. First off, I'll say I've been playing a lot more Apex than what I used to. Definitely enjoying that more. I've gotten a couple wins. I remember there was one season, like a couple years ago or something, when Lindsay and I were kind of playing it, and we couldn't get a win at all. And I absolutely hated Apex during that time. I was like, playing, I'm like, okay, yeah, but I was not having fun with it. I'm having a lot of fun now with it. So, let's see, what else? Yeah, I can't remember the last time we talked about what we've been playing.
Right? It's been a couple weeks.
I know yesterday I played some TFT. I got a win. I only did like 2 games, I think, and I got a win on the second one. The season of TFT is basically the same season as last. It's just like, I think whenever I looked at the season, I don't remember the number. I'm just going to say number 7. I don't know. And it was like 7.5. So it's not like a completely new season. And I'm kind of disappointed about that. So it has most of the
Gotcha.
same things from like the previous time I played, but they have changed some things. Like there's like dragon something as a class or whatever the things are called. I don't know. I think they've taken some characters out, they put in some new ones in, but it's not like a rehaul of like a new season.
Gotcha.
So, what else? What else? I played some Sims the other day. Oh, I did play. I did on stream the Cyanide and Happiness game that just came out. And it ended with a to be continued, and I don't know when the rest of the game is supposed to come out. I just hope that I don't have to purchase that separately, because that would be very annoying. I'd be very disappointed. I don't think it's going to be that. I think I will get the rest of the game with that one purchase. But I enjoyed the game for what it was. It was just a, kind of chill point and click fetch quest kind of game. So, um, did play a little Fortnite because the new Fortnite season has been out.
I heard it's chaotic.
I'm not a big fan of it right now, mostly because of the weapons.
Yeah.
You don't have like all the normal weapons like you used to. They're like makeshift weapons now, and then you can do crafting, which I like the idea of crafting, but at the same time, I have to stop, pull up my menu, do the crafting, see if I can do it, and then craft. And then I know there's some ways of getting like the normal weapons, like a normal AR or a SCAR, but it doesn't happen often. And I much prefer those weapons than the makeshift rifle or the primal rifle.
Yeah, the aim on those are crap.
Yes. I know one time I picked up one of the SMGs and shot it, and I literally had a bullet go way to the left and then one go way to the right. And I was like, man, this accuracy on this thing is garbage.
Yeah, Nerf guns have better accuracy.
Yeah. And I know this past week, I think it was on Monday? I did play on Tabletop Sim. I played Star Wars X-Wing with one of our friends. We didn't get to finish the game. Um, but I haven't played X-Wing in so long, and they've made some changes to the game. Like they did like an update, and I never played it after the update. I did everything before the big update and them changing like mechanics and stuff in the game. So yeah, I was having fun. I found a build that I was like, sure, let's try this, and I was doing Scum and Villainy because that's what I used to run. And I was enjoying it. Right now, from where we left off, I have 2 ships left, and he also has 2 ships left. I got rid of his main ship, which he was running a Kylo Ren. I destroyed Kylo Ren. But my main dude is still out there because my
There
main
you
dude
go.
is a big boy. So
Oh, and see, this goes back. Y'all were able to save that game where it was, so you can finish it later, right?
yeah.
Very nice.
Which I will say during that, the ship that I had, I got to the other end of the mat, and I was doing a turn, and I haven't played in so long. Like I did one turn, and then after that, I did another turn, and that other turn put me like directly horizontal with like the edge of the map, and I was like this itty bitty like close of going off the map where my ship would have what it says is left the battlefield. So it would not say die, but it would just be out of combat and you can't bring it back. And I got super duper
Um,
close, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" So I'm just glad that I didn't go off the map because that would have been really really bad. Um,
I remember I was so bad at that game. Like the 1 or 2 times I played, I would like lose a bunch of ships and then take my main dude off the map.
yeah. Um, I'm bad at the game whenever I play against Alex because my rolls against him are garbage. So, um, but yeah, then just played a few other things. I haven't really played a lot of games on the PlayStation. I still have games I need to play. I know I played Fall Guys with um this one dude. Um, and I know we've played Golf with Friends. We played Cars Against Humanity. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's just been a bunch of different games I've been playing. I'm just trying to think of the next like big one I'm going to play. I mean, mostly I want to be playing Apex because I've just been enjoying it. So, but I'm sure there's some things on Steam or something that I have that I want to play. Oh yeah, we've also been playing Stardew Valley. Forgot about that.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Oh, Valheim, forgot about that. But I haven't played that in a week though. And it's been a while since I played Planet Coaster. So yeah. What about you, Will? What have you been playing?
Man, I been playing a little bit of League as usual, throwing some ARMs out there. Been enjoying that. The new character, I think we already talked about Vigo, the Rune King, but he's
Oh
baller.
yeah, the ring. Yeah.
Um Dead by Daylight, man. That's what I've been playing
I
mostly.
forgot about that. I've done like
Yeah.
2 matches of that.
Yeah, I just really enjoy it. Um I've been grinding it a lot. I've got my build for Survivor. I played Nancy Wheeler from Stranger Things with a bunch of perks that she doesn't even have. And for killer, I like to play Demogorgon. Demogorgon is just baller, and you can teleport. It's super cool. Um, but yeah, Dead by Daylight's just really fun. Especially if you have a group of people to play together. You can do custom matches so that you can like rotate out who's playing killer, and you can, if you have newer people, you can get used to it, or if you just want to goof around and try out new builds, you can do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I really like it. And then yeah, Valheim. I've been playing a lot of Valheim. Me and my roommates and a friend of ours have a server. Um, and we've been trying to level up and get advancements and stuff. Um, but we have to defeat the next boss.
How many bosses have you
because
defeated?
Two.
2? 1?
Two?
I've
Two.
only defeated the
Two.
very first boss in there, and I
We
haven't really
defeated
played much.
the
The first
deer
boss is like the big
boss
deer
and the
boss.
tree boss. Yeah. Yeah. We beat Bambi and Slenderman. Those were the bosses we beat.
Oh, okay.
But next we need to fight something called the Bone Mass, which I have completely avoided looking at what it looks like because I like just randomly seeing these bosses and being horrified by what they look like.
Well, I'm gonna look it up.
But you can,
I don't
yeah,
know.
you can get like sort of an idea by the big rocks
Oh,
where you spawn in the world, and it just looks like a big blob. So I'm
okay.
assuming it's like a flesh blob with like bones and stuff sticking out of it.
Not what I expected whenever I looked at the image, but okay.
But yeah, that's the next one I have to fight, and I have to fight that to get the wishbone, which is an item that lets you find ore that's underground, which after a certain I think iron and silver you have to find underground, and those are the ones that we need right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to play more. Maybe I can hop on with you sometime and play.
Possible.
Yeah.
It would be fun to have a out of the box gaming Valheim server.
It would be fun to have an out of the box Minecraft server.
Yeah, you right. Out of the box Minecraft
See, I would
should
play
happen
that.
first.
I'm not
Still-
gonna play Valheim.
Yeah, still wanting to play Minecraft. I really miss it. Playing Valheim makes me just want to play Minecraft.
That's fair. That's very fair. I do like the graphics of Valheim, because it's like more realistic. It's not just the blocks. But Minecraft is
Minecraft looks beautiful.
oddly polished for what it is.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Especially with some like updates that they have or whatever, or some
Yeah.
like shaders or
Oh yeah,
texture
once you
packs or
start like
whatever.
once
Yeah.
you start adding that stuff, Minecraft looks great. But yeah. And that's pretty much what I've been playing lately, I think. Yeah. Lindsay, what you been playing?
I don't know. What have I played?
Pretty much the same thing that I've been playing.
No, not
Minus-
everything.
minus
I played some
Apex.
Apex, played some Fortnite, played some Stardew, played you forgot Shoots and Ladders last night, Nick.
I wasn't going to mention that.
I
Also, a
don't
few
think
games
Nick
with
had
Overwatch.
ever played
I've never played
and
Shoots and Ladders.
before, and I don't think he will ever play it again. We played
It's
on
a fun one.
tabletop with some friends. Nick's not a big fan. The game went on for a while, but I did win. So
There
Heck yeah.
was one shoot that I hit, I think, 3 times in a row, and it was up in the 40s because it goes from like square 1 to 100. It was up in the 40s. I kept hitting that and went all the way back down into the teens. I hit it 3 times, and I was like, I'm over this game. Then I eventually got past it, and I think I was up in the 60s, and then Lindsay ended up winning. So
yeah, it was a
Good job,
race.
Lindsay.
It was a race between me and Alex at the end.
yeah,
Played some other games on tabletop sim.
that's Sorry, Pokemon Sorry.
Yeah,
I got screwed over on that.
did Sorry and Candyland.
Oh yeah, Candyland.
It was fun, which reminded me of a nostalgia game that I played when I was younger. Candyland, I think it was called Candyland Adventure. It was on PC. I think it came out in '96. Such a fun game. I wish I could play it again. I really do. Did we play Overwatch this week or was that last week?
I think it was last week, but we do need to get on and get that Roadhog skin.
Yeah, I don't care about the Roadhog
I
skin.
think it
It's
looks cool.
creepy.
I kind of want to get it.
It's creepy. Most of his skins are creepy.
He has too many skins, in my opinion.
Too
Way too
many
many.
skins.
Oh yeah,
Too
he
many
absolutely has too
skins.
many.
And I think that's mostly it. Yeah,
I mean, it's been a while since you've done Sims, Planet Coaster.
I know.
I
was just
feel
thinking
like
about
I thought there
Sims.
was a game on PlayStation that you played at one point. Maybe that was a few weeks ago where you started to play Last of Us again.
Yeah, I started. Yeah,
That was a while
been a
ago.
while. I don't know.
I mean, golf, Cards Against Humanity. I mean, did that last week. We're probably going to be playing some board games today whenever we go to my dad's house. So just got to figure out what games to take. I don't want to keep taking the same games.
Yep. But that's it. That's what I played.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. So now we're going to move on to Out of the Box Gaming News.
Beep-beep-beep-beep-beep.
Welcome to Out of the Box Gaming News with Lindsay Picard.
Okay, we're starting off strong on this one. GitHub user ToasterCX found a way to reduce GTA Online's load times by 70% on PC, and Rockstar confirmed it will release an update incorporating the solution in the future. Xbox engineering lead Eden Marie revealed Xbox consoles are getting a suspend my game option in the manage queue page, which allows games to still be quick resumable but will boost download speeds. As part of PlayStation's Play at Home program, 9 indie games will be free to download starting March 25th, followed by Horizon Zero Dawn on April 19th. The Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor trilogy containing Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, along with Definitive Edition content for each, appeared on PlayStation Store and Microsoft Store for $20 US dollars. Black Panther is officially coming to Marvel's Avengers game later this year, and Warner Brothers Montreal says it delayed the release of Gotham Knights until next year to give the team more time to deliver the best possible experience for players. Good for you, Warner Brothers Montreal. Delay the game, give us good content.
Yeah. So, a few things. The first thing that you mentioned, that person from GitHub or whatever reducing GTA online load times by 70%.
I'm sorry, Rockstar. You didn't know this was a thing before?
Well, I did see something that they were paying that person $10,000 for doing that.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I like that person, figuring out how to do that and then like making that an update and like significantly helping them out. He definitely should get paid something.
They should
yeah.
hire him.
They should hire him. so I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, I don't play GTA, but apparently what those load times were like horrific. And that person, decreased the load times by 70%. Like, that's crazy.
I just don't understand how Rockstar didn't figure this out themselves. Obviously, you're not making a GTA 6. So what are you doing with GTA?
I mean, they might be making a GTA 6.
I mean,
I
we'll
know.
get that in 84 years.
It's already been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
But anyway, good job, Toaster CX. Because I'm pretty sure that's Toaster and not Toaster or whatever I said earlier.
Xbox with the suspend my game option.
That means nothing to me.
I mean, I thought they had like a quick resume thing for Xbox. Did they not?
Yeah, it'll still be quick resume, but this will boost download speed.
Oh, okay. And this is just, they would have to do this each time, I guess. And I guess it's not like completely closing out the game. It's just suspending it. So, I mean, anything you can do to, increase the productivity of the console. So, and cool that PlayStation is getting some free games. even though one of them is Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think I still have that game. Yes, I do. So if I get it for free, then cool. And then Tomb Raider, yeah. So I saw the thing about the Tomb Raider definitive survival trilogy. Like apparently that I think it came out early from what I saw, and it just popped up on the PlayStation and Microsoft Store for $20, which is actually a really good deal for those
That's
three
a
games.
dang good price.
It is.
Amazing deal. If you have not tried out the Tomb Raider games, highly suggest it.
I mean, I'm kind of considering that because I don't have I haven't played the first one.
Yeah, the first, yeah.
Because you had it, but only on your PlayStation. You didn't have a physical copy.
Honestly, you wouldn't. I don't think you would need it because I think you have the other two for free because it came out on PlayStation for free a few months ago.
Oh, I don't know.
So I mean, you could just wait for you could wait for the first one to go on sale. I think I got the first one for like $5.
But if you haven't played them, oh my goodness, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
and they are really good games.
And they're long games, so you definitely get your money's worth. The first one is not as long as the other two, I think. I think the third one, the newest one, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, is my favorite out of all of them. I know a lot of people say Rise of the Tomb Raider is their favorite, but I think I prefer Shadow because I think there was a lot less shooty shooty bang bang in that one. There was more of like puzzle solving and stuff like that, and that's what I enjoy. Black Panther is finally coming to Marvel's Avengers. I have not played that game in so long. I'm still waiting on Spider-Man and still waiting on my free copy for PS5.
Did they add Hawkeye yet?
Do what?
Did they add Hawkeye yet?
I don't know. I know they added Kate Bishop because I think one of the times whenever they added it, I got to play her some. But Hawkeye is supposed to come out soon, like soon after her. I don't know if he's out yet. I have not played that game in so long. I haven't put it in just to see. Maybe I will sometime soon. Just really waiting on Spider-Man because I feel like that's going to be fun. But with Black Panther, and they showed the trailer for it, I'm so glad. Actually, I don't know if it's going to be true. I'm just hoping there's going to be other enemies than just the robot dudes in like a city. Because I think it looks like there's going to be missions at like in Wakanda or something. And I was just kind of getting tired of like that whole cookie cutter maps that they had. Like there's so much that they can do with Marvel's Avengers, and I want them to do. I just don't know if they're going to do it. My biggest thing is I still feel like it should have been more like Destiny, where hey, we're going to this area, let us free roam around. We have like these different little missions that we can pick up, or we can go over here and do like a story mission, or we could do like this we could do a vault or something like that. Something where it was I wish it was similar like Destiny, of how they have their free roam and stuff like that. Instead of, hey, we're going to go do this mission. We have to go into, this the helicarrier, and then we'll drop in and do this mission. We completed the mission. We have to go back to like, headquarters, and then or the helicarrier, and then pick another mission and do. So,
right.
God bless you, child. And then Warner Brothers Montreal delaying Gotham Knights. You know what? I mean, when new games have been announced, I kind of was expecting ones to get delayed, and I'm fine with this one getting delayed because it looks good. Which I think we mentioned something, I don't know how long ago, but I think they were changing or their combat style that they had in the game, or they were improving it in somehow. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's getting delayed, because they want to make that much better. Because they don't want people to be complaining. So
right.
Yeah, so definitely take your time.
Yeah, you don't want to Project Red yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, we are running out of time. So
Well, I hope you guys have been thinking about that trivia question, because it is time to give our answers.
Yeah. So, fellas, about how many ways are there to win the game of Connect 4? Many different types of ways.
For Connect 4?
Mm-hmm.
How many different ways is there to win?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we saying, like, how many variations you can get 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you win Connect 4.
Well, I didn't know if you were looking like you have it one here where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you leave a space on this one, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, like going through each grid and all that.
Yeah. How many different ways can you win the game of Connect 4?
I don't think she's understanding.
I have an answer.
Because, like, I'm thinking, like, if there's the different ways that you can, win of, like, so you can get 4 in a row, horizontal, vertical, diagonal,
Yeah.
both ways. That's like 4.
Yeah.
But I was trying to figure out if you look at the board, I don't know how many spaces there are. You start at the bottom left, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one way. Then shift them over 1, where the first one is
Yes.
blank. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2.
Yes. How many overall ways is it possible to win Connect 4 on the whole board? Yes.
I think I know.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay. You weren't clarifying that for me.
Did you think I meant this way, this way, this way?
At first, with your your original question, I thought it was how many different ways can you fill up the board with different patterns.
Look, guys, let's be real. There's only one way to win Connect 4, and that's to connect 4.
4, yeah.
Yes.
So that there's only one way to win.
How many ways to win the game by getting 4 in a row?
One wasn't my answer. I actually do have a number in my head.
Give me a number.
My number is 9.
Nick?
I mean, of how I'm thinking of how you're saying that it actually is, then it's going to be a very large number. I don't know how many freaking rows are there and columns or.
I don't know, but you're not going to be able to do the math on this.
Well, I'm going to try to figure out what I can, and then
7 columns in the picture I see.
I want to pull out the calculator real quick.
1, 2,
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, 7 columns.
I am now thinking I oversimplified the question, but I'm still sticking with my answer.
Stick with it.
Let's just say 316. I don't know.
There are close to 2 trillion ways to win the game by getting 4 in a row.
So I'm assuming that's going off of each individual position starting point.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
I
to clarify.
oversimplified and was like,
that's
lines.
what I was trying to clarify with her.
Because it's 4 ways this way, 4 ways this way, and 1 way this way. So that's just 9 ways you can win. But if you're going 9 ways you can win off of almost every spot.
Yeah, it was every spot, yeah.
That's what I said.
I know, I was trying to clarify, but you weren't getting it at first.
There are over 4 trillion ways to fill a Connect 4 board. Close to 2 trillion ways to win the game by getting 4 in a row. And more than 700 million ways to tie.
Wow. Jeepers.
It does go on to say, however, assuming you're playing a perfect opponent, there's only one way to guarantee a win. Go first and play in the center column.
Huh.
Interesting.
I haven't played Connect 4 forever. Maybe that's something we should add to our nostalgia wheel.
One more quick factoid. Clue, the game of Clue.
Yeah.
You know the lead pipe piece?
Yeah.
It was once made out of real lead. It's probably not a good thing.
Okay. All right.
You ever die after playing a game?
Well, we're going to wrap up this episode. We want y'all to be able to contact us on other media platforms. So, Will, where can people do this?
Well, they can go to the YouTube channel Out of the Box Gaming. We also have our Discord linked there on our YouTube channel and anywhere else that you can find our link tree. We have an Instagram, and that is OOTB_gaming. Our Twitter handle is @GamingOOTB, and our TikTok is @OOTBGaming. Check out our Patreon and all of the phenomenal perks you can unlock there. We want to give a huge shout out to our Collector's Edition Patreon, Cody Watkins, also known as Kitsune's Myth. We really love that guy. He's a big part of the community and a dear friend. So if you ever see him, give him love.
And speaking of our Patreon, we're approaching. I mean, how many days do we have? Yeah, we're very much approaching our first quarterly giveaway. It should be at the end of March. Information on that is going to be on the Discord. We're not going to be doing it through Instagram. We're going to be doing it through the Discord.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that Lindsay will make a post on Instagram for
advertising.
information.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have not decided fully what games are going to be in the giveaway. But yeah, please join the Discord to find out. And we will have information real soon. Did you want to add anything to it since you're in charge of it?
No.
Okay.
You've said it all.
All right. If you want to find me, you can do that by going to YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram at AceKingKing and Twitter AceKingKing77.
Please make sure to leave a review on our podcast on whichever platform you found us on. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, all those fun things because you know you love us. Thank you for listening, and please join us next week.
This has been Out of the Box Gaming with Nick Picard, Will Kinsley, and Lindsay.